And we're live.
Okay, hello everyone. Sorry for the 3-4 minutes delay from our side. Welcome to the GoDaddy Google Hangout. Let me get started by introducing the panel here. It's a great panel right across the Atlantic in US. So if we can just do a show of hands when I'm calling out the names. So starting with Joe Styler. Some of you would have already interacted with him in past. He actually came to India sometime. He's the director for Aftermarket services. Then we have Mia from the auctions team. And Chris and Frank and Adam from the Premier Services team. Right, so they are going to talk about how Premier Services team can actually help engage and grow your business. Then we also have Brian from the Afternic team. Across the Hangout, we'll probably share some tips and quick inputs for you to gain from this, and look forward to a great discussion. Once again, sorry for the delay, and from that I hand it over to Joe to really do an overview of Aftermarket, and then we go from there. Over to you, Joe.
Waiting for the video. All right. Good morning, everybody, and good evening in India. I'm glad that we got to squeeze in between the World Cup final. And those of you watching around the world, I know are very interested in that. And good morning to everyone else. What we're going to talk about today is the aftermarket, and give a brief overview of what the aftermarket is and how it works at GoDaddy, and more importantly, how it can benefit you. Aftermarket is basically any way that you can make money from domain names, and that includes things such as buying and selling names, and it also includes getting names at a cheaper price, like a wholesale price, so that you can make more money when you sell them, or when you use them for investment purposes, such as parking. We're going to cover the whole gambit, and we're going to talk about the best ways for you to be able to do that at GoDaddy. This is going to be a pretty brief overview of all the things that we offer. And if you have any in-depth questions, we're going to open those up at the end, so we can answer anything you have. We're going to email us after. So first thing we're going to discuss is our Premier Services program at GoDaddy. And Premier Services is a free service that we provide to our larger domain investor customers. If you spend in excess of $5,000 a year and you have at least 250 domains in your account, you qualify for Premier Services. And like I said, it's not at an extra charge. It's something that we just make available to you to help you manage your domain investment. In addition to special pricing that you will get once you're in Premier Services, you're also assigned an account representative. The account representatives in Premier have over an average of 8+ years experience at GoDaddy. So they're versed in the domain aftermarket. They understand not only past trends, but current trends. We also will assign you to one specific account representative. What this means is that you will not have to worry about who you're going to talk to when you call in. You have one person that will get to know you, understand your investment goals, and you'll have the one point of contact that you always deal with, and hopefully develop a good relationship with this person over the course of time. One other thing we also make available to you for their services is extra security around your domains to help it available to you as extra layer of security to protect your domain investment and help you keep the money you're investing safe, the domains where you want them, and make sure that all activity on your account is authorized. Chris is going to talk a little bit now about what our representatives do on a daily basis and what it means to have an account representative assigned.
Thanks, Frank. Good morning, everyone. As Frank touched on, the biggest benefit of Premier Services is that we offer the assignment of a dedicated account manager. And the primary role of the account manager with the client is to not only provide the white glove service that our top clients expect, but it's really to become an extension of the client. So what we attempt to do, what we really try to do as our account managers is focus on the following areas with the clients. We want to focus on the domain industry knowledge. So it's extremely important that our account managers stay current on industry trends, not only just including domain sales, but also discussions around the new GTLD market, the current status of the traditional TLDs. We look at buying and selling strategies. We also stay current on the pulse of GoDaddy in the industry, as well as other registrars. So we are versed in speaking around the entirety of the industry, not just the GoDaddy market. We also look at investment strategies. So when we talk to our clients, and the first thing that we try to do is we really try to understand their budget, what their needs are, if it's a company need, if it's individual need, and then what their short-term and long-term strategies are and their goals are. And then from there, we center our conversations, our discussions around those needs and where they're going to best invest their money and their time and focus in order to buy the right way. And then we talk about different areas of purchase. A lot of people feel that hand registrations is the one way to go. Then we try to focus as well on the auctions department, the expired domains, drop domains, and back orders to give a different pulse of not just hand registrations, but where there are other investment areas and where you can pick up quality domain names. And the third and the fourth, and probably one of the most important, is we offer the account management aspect of that client's account. So we assist with not only purchasing domains and products, the renewals of those domains and products, but we assist with domain transfers, account level reporting, helping you list domains for sale. We troubleshoot all products and services, and a variety of other tasks that need to, what we need to do to work with the client in order to ensure that their account is taken care of. Frank touched on this a little bit about the added level of security. One of the benefits of being in Premier Services is we offer what we call a domain transfer validation service. This validation service is a trigger on the account, so it covers all domain names in the account, not just a specific domain. But what it does is anytime a domain is slotted to transfer out or change of account, it triggers a validation request that the account holder must validate before that request can be completed. So that's an additional layer of security that we offer in Premier Services to help protect domains from moving out of an account. And the last thing I'm going to cover pretty much is that we have, Premier Services currently has 21 account managers, and our largest clients that we work with are domain investors, SEO specialists, and large web pros. So we cover the gamut of the industry for the most part through our account managers. I'm going to hand it off to Adam, who's going to talk a little bit about our domain discount club.
Yeah, so first off, in Premier Services, we do offer the sort of pricing, so you won't be paying in front of site prices. We do not currently have them publicly listed. However, if you qualify for Premier Services and want to get that pricing, definitely reach out to us, and we can roll out those numbers. In order to get the best pricing we offer at GoDaddy, you'd want to go with our domain discount club. Essentially, we give you best in industry pricing on new purchases and renewals. As far as like .coms, you're looking at $8.29 a year, and it again applies to new purchases and renewals. It is $119.88 a year. However, depending on the domains in your portfolio, it can definitely be worth it for you, especially if you're working with GTLDs. Right now, we offer 40% off GTLDs. That is the lowest tier, so if you get into the higher tier domains, that's not going to apply. But again, it does apply to new purchases and renewals. Also with the Domain Discount Club, you do get our free premium cache parking. So instead of the 60, you are getting the 80% of the revenue that's generated off all of your websites. You do get a free GoDaddy auctions membership. So $4.99 save there. And also, if you ever want to try to acquire a domain name, I know a lot of you try to acquire your own domain name. If you hit a roadblock or anything like that, you can reach out to our domain buy service team. Normally it's $69.99. With the domain discount club, you get those for $49.
We'll move it to Mia for Afternic and Aftermarket.
So we support additional, I manage the aftermarket, and we provide additional support to our Premier Services and account managers primarily in listing and maintaining all the listings in our aftermarket. We primarily focus on our partnership with Afternic, where we have the largest distribution to buy or sell your domain name. With our premium promotion level, we reach about or over 75 million prospective buyers each month. That is because we are partnered with most of the top registrars to list your domain names. It's fairly simple to list your domain names. You just have to create an account at afternic.com. Once you have your account created, you just approve your verification link after you've provided your contact information, and then you're ready to set to list. To list your domain names, you'll just log into your account with your username and password. Hover over Portfolio on the left-hand side of your account. Add your domains. There'll be a text box for you to provide your domain names. You'll want to put them on each line item. We do also have available a bulk load sheet that you can download right from your account if you have a larger portfolio. There's not much limitation to that load sheet. There's been over 100,000 names that you can list at one time. Once you submit your names, you'll hit the continue button, and then if you are not using the sheet, you'll be set up your pricing and your promotion level. We will then go ahead and review your domain names to make sure that they qualify. There's a few things that we do check out for. If your domain names are adult or trademark, we want to approve the listings. To be eligible for premium promotion or fast transfer, the domain TLDs are .com, .net, .biz, .org, .pw, and .info. Your listings must have a buy now price, a buy now price, a set price, which may not exceed more than $25,000. If the domain names are not registered for at least 60 days, they're not eligible because we're not able to fast transfer them, and they must not expire within 3 months. And some of our large premium promotion partners includes GoDaddy, Network Solutions, Register.com, Name.com. So you have a lot of versatility in getting your names out there to make sure you can get them sold. Joe's going to go over more information about selling.
Thanks, man. I think it's really exciting to be a part of the aftermarket. We have so many different teams that make it up. We have the ability to specialize in certain areas because of that. We have about 50 people sitting right outside here that are in the aftermarket team, and we have a team in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and we have partners that we work with in India in our call center. So we really are able to specialize in certain areas, and I think that's the key that I want everybody to be able to bring away from here. We're going to go over some tips and tricks on how to best list your names, how to sell, how to make the most money. But really, we can't go over everything in a couple minutes. We have leverage the resources that we have available to you. We have more resources available, I believe, than any other company that's out there, and that's important because our whole focus of everyone who's working out there is to be able to help our customers succeed. It's because of you that we're able to run the aftermarket as a team, and we really appreciate that, but that doesn't come unless you're successful. And that's what our whole focus is. So we have different areas, you heard from different people on the team today, that focus in experts in different areas, such as being able to support understanding what all the rules are, the ins and outs of how to list on Afternic or on GoDaddy. Frank and Chris on Premier, and talking with Adam about how you can save money on buying names. And those are just, some quick examples. But we really have help with pricing names, and to tell you about how you can list your name in the most effective way to get it sold. You might have a name that's available for sale that we know a buyer for. We have hundreds of clients that we have a relationship with on a regular basis through Premier Services and through our aftermarket teams that we know are in the market to buy or sell names. And when those come up, we're able to make a quick phone call or send an email out to those customers and say, hey, you know what, we have a name that you might be interested in, and it's a really good price. Or, hey, guess what, we know that you want to sell this name, and we know a couple people that might be interested in that. Let's reach out to them. So really, I encourage you, for the best tip and trick is to leverage your resources. I mean, really, it's unprecedented in almost any industry to be able to reach out directly to experts and get consultation for free. And that's what we offer, and we encourage it. We want you to reach out to us. We've been doing this for a long time. There's probably 30, 40 years of experience in this room at least, not to mention the teams that are out there dealing with buying and selling names every day. So please reach out to us. That's the biggest tip and trick I think we can offer you. And we're happy to sit down and look at your portfolio or what your business plan is and see how that stacks up against the hundreds that we see each day and say, yeah, this is really a good plan, or maybe you should tweak it a little bit here or there so that you can really make the most of what you're trying to do. So having said that, I'll go over a couple quick tricks that you can do to be able to buy and sell, and then we'll open it up for questions. I think one key thing that you need to be able to do if you're trying to make money on your name is figure out what a price is. So you need to be able to understand what the value of a name is. And if you're not sure what that is, I really encourage you to reach out to us. Afternic has a paid appraisal service. If you have some high value names that you might want a second opinion on, what their worth would be, that's looked at by a person, and I think that's a good service that we offer before you start to sell. Another thing that we offer through partnering with Afternic is a sales team that will field those inquiries for you and help to give you advice on what you should sell for and help negotiate that sale for you on your behalf. So you can set the price with the person who's going to be selling those names for you and have that conversation back and forth with them so that they can go to the buyer and try and sell your name. This is a professional sales team, and they field inquiries all day on names, and they're able to really represent you, and that's all included in the price. So you can partner with us and have this domain name is for sale banner that we offer through Afternic, and those inquiries will then go to that team that can field the questions for you and help to make sure that those names get sold. They're experts at sales. I think it's a good idea to be able to use your resources wisely, let them field the inquiries that come in, even because you have a lot of names and you don't have time to field the inquiries, or maybe buying names is your forte, but selling is not the best thing that you do, and you might be able to get more money if another salesperson came in. Use those resources because they're available to you for free, and it's really a crack team that can sell very well. So use them, and I think not a lot of people leverage that or realize that is for free. Another key thing that we offer is our auctions. Our expiry auctions on GoDaddy, auctions.godaddy.com, offer more expired names than any other venue. Every day we have hundreds of thousands of names listed for sale that are about to end in an auction cycle. That's a lot of names to go through. Again, please, if you have questions, reach out to us. We can help you to use both tools for bulk search. We have an advanced search. We have a lot of different features, such as an API or things that might not be readily seen from the site. So if you have questions and you need to reach out to us for bigger purchases, let us know. But if you just want to try and find some names to invest in, I encourage you to pick something that you're familiar with, such as if you're familiar with clothing or doctors, or you want to do apartment rentals. Figure out what your niche is, who you can sell that to, what the return on investment would be, and then use the auctions to find undervalued assets on our auctions that are expiring that other people might have let go, and then be able to add those to your portfolio so that you can resell those. And then when you resell them, you can list them through the network that Mia had mentioned, the Afternic network, which with a price on your name will get you in front of 75 million potential viewers every month. We have 75 million views to that network on a regular basis per month. If you have an unpriced name, maybe you have a very high value name or something that you don't want to necessarily put a price on, you can still list it through the network. It goes through many partners that way as well, and you're looking at over 25 million views a month. That's a lot of potential views for your names that I don't think you're going to get anywhere else. So putting it in that network once you have a name and learning the best way to price that name to be able to get it exposed to more potential buyers is a really key thing. We see that a priced name in that network seems to sell on an average of 10 times better than an unpriced name that would be on the same network. So unpriced versus priced, my tip is sell first price, if you can put it on it, if you have a name that's maybe $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, it's worth your time to price those names out and not try and hold out for an extra $50 or $100 by negotiating, because you're going to get a 10 times higher sale rate on a price versus not having your name priced, which is really going to make a difference at the end of the year in how many names you sell, and that'll more than make up for the difference that you might have been able to make by negotiating back and forth with people. On those higher value names, I understand you want to negotiate, and those I would encourage you, to reach out to us and let us say, hey, this is what the market might bear right now. Especially the internet, where things change very quickly, it's important to get a price check on a high value name. I'd say every 6 months or so, because the values can change pretty rapidly. There's trends that come up, and there's other things that we have to keep an eye on. There's the introduction of new GTLDs that have changed the atmosphere a little bit on some of the names that we have. So it's important to get a price check and kind of know what your market value is, and we're happy to do that for you before you put the name for sale. Another key thing I think that's really important is to see if you qualify for Premier Services. The services that they went over today are just very briefly covering the many things that they offer. You can have somebody that's assigned to your account that you can bounce ideas off of and get some feedback right away. Like I said, they see a lot of accounts on a daily basis, so they're really able to help you. And they're able to help you with things such as security on your name, which is very important to make sure that you're able to retain those assets, to keep you informed of new things that are coming out in the industry, to be able to give you industry news or new things that may affect your value, such as a price increase from the registry or a new TLD that's coming out that really might fit your needs, or some changes in existing TLDs. .ca had some changes over the recent past where they were able to transfer faster and easier, and that made it easier for people to be able to sell. So it's good to know what the trends are in a certain industry or TLD that you're looking at, so that you can really leverage those to your best advantage, and the experts in Premier Services are able to help you with that. So I think those are the key things I want to cover. If you get your name listed for sale in the Afternic network, you're going to have a much higher sale rate if you can do that and price your name, and you're also going to make the most of your assets if you can really leverage experience. It's so key to be able to reach out to people and have them be able to help. I know that many people make a mistake when they're initially buying names, and they buy a lot of names that they think are valuable, but then they have a really hard time selling them. We don't want you to spend money on names that you're not going to make a return on, so reach out to us. That's a perfect example. You're starting out, you're getting into the industry, you think, man, I want to make this money that I hear everyone's making. I'm going to buy a lot of names and then I'm going to sell them. Reach out to us first so that we can guide you and say, let's get a plan together. Let's make sure that you can really make the most of your money that you're going to invest, so that you can be around for the long haul. With that, I want to open it up to questions. Colby, have you been fielding any questions? We can't easily see.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah, there's a couple questions here, so I'm going to paraphrase a bit. So Harsh wants to know, for buying and selling premium domains and auction domains, do they have the same charges, and is it the same procedure?
Right now, we're working to standardize that. So over the next few weeks, we're going to change the commission structure on both GoDaddy and Afternic to be the exact same commission. If you have any names listed with us, you would have already gotten an email letting you know that we're changing it to the maximum would be a 20%, but it's a tiered commission across the board. So no matter where the name is listed or where it sells, the maximum amount you would pay would be 20%. We are working on ways to be able to integrate the aftermarket. Right now, there's 4 distinct channels that GoDaddy has through GoDaddy and Afternic that you can sell your names on to be able to reach potential customers. And we don't want people to have to manage 4 different places. We want people to manage it in one place and make it easier for you to make updates. Or, like I said, prices could change over a couple months, and you want to go in there and update things. You might add or remove new names to your portfolio. We want to make that a lot easier. So we're working on reducing the amount of time that it takes for you to be able to list, get it into all 4 channels that we have, which would be the auctions, GoDaddy premium names, and Afternic's 2 networks, expanded and premium. We're going to cut those to 1 so that whichever level your name qualifies for, if it can fast transfer, it's going to go to that network that gets 75 million views. And if it's not able to fast transfer, let's say you just bought it and it has a registry lock for 60 days, or it's a TLD that doesn't allow fast transfer, then it would automatically be put into the other network of 25 million views a month. And that would be done behind the scenes. We would do everything for you as seamlessly as possible. And on the GoDaddy side, we are releasing a change so that when you list a name as a premium name, we remove some of the barriers to make it automatically list as an auction listing if it has a price. And when you're listing as an auction, there's a button you'll be able to click that upgrades it to a premium listing as long as it meets the TLD requirements and the price requirements. So we're trying to make all the minimum prices the same. We're trying to make the commissions the same, and we're trying to make the way that the functionality works behind the scenes enable you to be able to list in one place and have it spread across the entire network so we can expose your name to as many potential buyers as possible in as easy a way as possible for you to sell your name. We don't want you to have to try and manage it in a few places like it is now. But stick with us in the next couple weeks. Those commission changes will go into play, and some of the things that we're doing behind the scenes to help your names get listed in more options with less work for me. Those are good questions.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great answer. So another question, similar lines, but not to do with the charges. They'd like to know what the best way is to sell their premium domain portfolio. They've tried Afternic, listed them as premium, but they're yet to figure out the right path for selling the entire premium domain portfolio. And they just kind of wanted to know what you suggest for them to do to start tackling that.
If they're talking about selling the entire portfolio as one sale, then I think they really should reach out to Frank or Chris, because they're the ones that are going to be in touch with the bulk buyers. They're going to be able to have those customers on speed dial and say, hey, we know you're looking for portfolios. Here's one that makes sense. They're also going to be able to speak with the person who's selling the portfolio of names and say, we're going to look at these and say, all right, here's a fair market value, what we think it's really worth, or here's what our potential buyers are interested in paying, or maybe we could chunk this out because you have 3 different genres of names in here, and we think if we chunk these out, you'd be able to sell 2 of these for more than you'd be able to sell the whole thing as. So really, it's good to reach out if you're planning on selling a portfolio for some extra advice and those connections to Frank or Chris on Premier Services. They're the ones that are going to help you portfolio as a whole. If you're looking at, you have 1,000 names and you want to sell them one at a time just by listing them all in one place, I think the best way to do that would be to contact us to see which ones are able to be sold on the premium networks. If they don't have a lock and they qualify for the TLD, they're not adult if they meet those requirements, then getting into Afternic to get in front of people that are at GoDaddy, at Network Solutions, at Enom, at over 100 registrars that we have partners with. That's the best way to get your names out in bulk. And then it's always helpful to let people know that those names are for sale. And you can do that through putting up a park page that has a banner, which we allow you to put up and provide a link for it to be able to help you and show you how to do that with your DNS through the Afternic page as well. And again, that'll go back to the sales team and they'll be able to help you field those sales and try and close those deals. If we get leads that come in, they want to close those sales. So that's a great way to do it. If you have names that are not eligible for that network, you can still park them and put the banner up. Or you can put them up for sale in other areas as well. So you can park it and you can put it up for sale on the auctions, which would allow names that are adult or would allow names that are going to have a lock on them of some kind. As long as you're able to move those names with a change of account push, then you're able to put those up on the auction, even if they can't fast transfer. So I would say the best way to do it, if you're going to piecemeal and sell them one by one, is to get them in front of as many potential buyers as possible. And that is going to be through the Afternic network primarily. And then after that, with the names that are left over that can't qualify for that, to get those into the auctions. And also to reach out to us because we might have potential buyers for some of your names.
Awesome. I think that totally addresses what they were looking for. So this one got a couple of comments and then a question. The first one is, there used to be a commission that GoDaddy would pay to affiliates on any auction sales, and it doesn't seem to be there anymore. This person used to write blog posts to try and convince readers to purchase, high-level or valuable domains on our aftermarket, and he doesn't seem to have the incentive anymore. So he wants to know if that's something you guys are looking to bring back, or is there an alternative incentive he's not seeing to continue to do this?
There is an affiliate program that we had for a while, and we made some changes over the last year to the program itself. And we're looking through that now, and we're making some changes. So if you want to reach out to me personally, I can give you some more information on it and put you in touch with the affiliate team so that they can give you a better answer around how to use the affiliate program that we currently have, and also give you some idea of when a new one would be launched that would allow aftermarket purchases. My email is J Styler, JSTYLER @GoDaddy.com.
Perfect. Thanks, Joe. And the other one, I can't really tell this question. It looks more like a comment. So upon listing upon Afternic, domains immediately go into a review process. To them, it seems like it's a very dark period, and they're not really sure what's going on behind the scenes. Are there any, I guess, are we looking into doing anything to make it more transparent on what's going on once they list the domain to when it actually appears?
We're going to go from this big black curtain that we put all the names behind to kind of a lighter gray curtain. And it's still hard to see through, but I'm just kidding. When names go into review, they go into review for a variety of reasons, and we're working on some things to make that more clear. Actually, in the next couple of weeks, when we change commissions and we make a single path for sales versus the two networks that are there now, we're making some changes in the interface. And one of the changes that we're making in the interface is to be able to give you more clarity into where your names are and what state they're in and why they're there. That's been something that's been lacking for a while. So we will give you, actually yesterday I was working on writing up the copy of one of those pop-ups that explains why your name is where it's at and what's going on. And it'll also give you some information so that you know when you maybe need to call up and get the answer from support. You can give them the information right away. Hey, this is what my name's doing. There's various reasons why we check a name. We do have to check for trademarks. We have to check and see if it's adult. We have to check and see if the name can fast transfer or not. That could be because of TLD, or it could be because it has a lock for some reason from the registry. So it could also be locked at the registrar. There's a lot of things that we check during that process, and we're going to give you more insight into where your name is and why it's there, so that you can then make a better decision. It could be that, like Mia said, $25,000 is the cap, so it can't be priced on the premium network for over $25,000, and maybe you have it priced at $30,000 and it never gets past review. You're going to be able to see that, so you say, hey, your price is the reason why, and it can't be over $25,000 instead of just being stuck and not getting to that next network. So we're going to give you a lot more clarity into why that happens. The first pass that gets released in a couple weeks isn't going to be the final one that comes out. There's some things that we need to tweak to make it more friendly for both, but at least it's going to show you what state your name is in and give you a blurb on why it's there, so that then you can address that. Maybe it's a 60-day lock, so it's not eligible to transfer. Maybe it's a different TLD. But again, one of the things that we're going to be able to do to help streamline that is take some of the things that we can take off your plate, so you don't have to worry about it. If it's the wrong TLD and it can't be fast transferred right now, it goes into review and it never gets anywhere because it's the wrong TLD. We're going to make that say, okay, we know that this is the wrong TLD and it can never fast transfer, so we're going to put that down on the 25 million view network. We're going to get your name out anyway, so that we can get your name exposed to more people. And then you won't have to see that it's in review. We'll just tell you what network it's in automatically. But right now, I would just say it's in review. So we're going to give you a lot more clarity, and we're going to also take any steps that we can take on our side to get those names out there and get them listed while they go through the process.
Sweet. Okay, and so this one's more of a feature request that they wanted to float out to you. So we've acquired Afternic about a year ago. They'd like the idea of having the ability to list their domains on Afternic directly from their Wild West domain control panel. They would like just a single-click button to move over the domain that's in their control panel to Afternic, and they feel like that would really encourage users to use it more, or once they haven't heard about it, and increase momentum on their current domains.
It's a great idea, and it's something that we do have in our long-term roadmap. We can't give you a date on when it's going to happen, but I can tell you it's something that we're actively looking into to making happen, and it's something that we've explored in depth. Like I said at the beginning, we want to make things easier for people. We don't want to have 4 separate networks. We don't want you to have to manage things in several different places. We want you to be able to just go to one place, put your name for sale, and manage that for you. So if we can get it to go into your control panel, be it Network Solutions, register, GoDaddy, Wild West, wherever the name is, and have it listed for sale, have that filtered through the whole network, that would be great. And it's something that we're looking at, the possibility of doing in the future, and it's something that we're strongly considering. It's just really too early to say when that would happen and how exactly that would be implemented, but it is something we're strongly looking at.
Awesome. And then the final one I have here is with all the new GTLDs coming out and that are out already, are you seeing a lot of sales on the aftermarket with those, or is it still traditionally like .com and .net that are dominating the space?
There are sales for GTLDs that we've seen. GoDaddy itself is working on expanding the amount of TLDs that we can sell on the aftermarket. We know that that's been a pain point for people. It seems like it would be very easy, but there's a lot of tech debt that we have that we need to catch up on to be able to enable that. And we've been actively working on a lot of things behind the scenes to improve the aftermarket, and that's one of them. It's not very apparent to people that we're working on these old technologies that we have behind the scenes to enable things, but we have been, or we want to sell the GTLDs for you. Afternic currently sells many, many more GTLDs than GoDaddy has available for sale through its aftermarket. So I would encourage you to list your names on Afternic, because you're going to get out in front of a lot more people through their network. You have the ability to list a lot more of the TLDs that you have right now. We only offer a handful, and it's because those that exist on our kind of outdated technology that we have in the back end for some of the TLDs. We will get that fixed in the near term and be able to enable more, which should help more velocity for sales on the TLDs, on these new TLDs, when there's more exposure for sales. So having said that, looking at the Afternic side, and even the GoDaddy side, through some private sales that Premier Services is able to help negotiate, we have sold GTLDs. The lion's share of sales still continue to be .com sales. So in the near term, if you're looking to get into investing and you want something that's a little bit more stable, I would suggest going with a more established TLD, because it's a lot, the sales volume has been a lot higher. But there have been some good sales with good ROI on some of the new GTLDs as well.
Awesome. That's all the questions I have currently in. Anurup, is there anything that you wanted to add?
No, I think that's great. So the best tip that I think the folks on the call should take away from Joe is really reach out to us and shoot your toughest questions to us, and we'll get back to you. But I think this is great. I also want to thank Colby, which I forgot initially to really set it up together. Thank you, Colby. And we'll just wait for another 5 minutes or so if there are any questions coming in last minute for folks who joined in late. While folks are thinking, I also wanted to just reiterate that at India we are really investing in our care center capability on aftermarket services as well, and those folks really work with all the folks that you're seeing on the panel here at Backend and come back and really close out on your questions and queries. So keep working with us, keep reaching out to us, and we should be able to really grow and successfully grow the business and relationship together.
Absolutely awesome. Thank you. Yep, and we'll just give it another minute or two for questions to come in. If there's any questions that come in after we end the broadcast, we'll definitely still reach out to you and reply to you on the event page, so don't worry about that there. Thank you, everybody over in Tempe. Appreciate you guys getting up early to make the time.
And just from my side to the panel, any specific resources that you would like to share from any of the functions that you represent to the attendees here, from auctions, DDC, or any specific resource that you would like to just call out while people are thinking about any questions?
I think the biggest thing is just to familiarize yourself with the various landing pages that we have, and then ask questions from there. There are services that we add or change to be able to update from time to time, and it doesn't come out with a lot of fanfare. So even if you're an older customer who's familiar with the way that things used to work, it would be good to just check out the pages again and see what we might offer, or to reach out to your services rep and talk to them about things that may have changed to make things easier or better for you. We are not doing a good enough job communicating with people about the changes, and that's something that we're trying to work on. It's one of the reasons why we're trying to have these hangouts. We want to be able to get better at explaining what we do and how it works. For example, we have various bulk tools that are available through Premier Services teams or through Ian's team on support that aren't readily either accessed through the main site or even not available through the main site, and we want to be able to help people do things in a much more productive manner. So we do have bulk tools that are out there that you can use, such as the API or various spreadsheets that you might be able to list all your names for sale and then upload that might not be apparent on the site. So if there's anything you have for bulk, please reach out to us. For other things that we have been able to change on the site, it's important to know, things like commissions are going to change, and that's going to be updated on the site. If you need to get an email about it, you should get an email once we change it in a couple of weeks to let you know if you have anything listed. But sometimes those go to spam. So it's good to check the actual site and see what's changing. We add new partners through Afternic all the time, so the ability for you to have your names listed in various places is expanding over time, so it's good to see where that is. And it's also good to go on the auction site and see what things may have changed. Sometimes we add new streams for names that come in or new partners that we sign up that we're able to add on the auctions that can do things like add additional expiry inventory, so expired name inventory that comes through, or various priced inventory that may be available for sale at a very low price. So things like that change instantly, and it's good to be able to check in and just take a look at the site.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. For a few of you that did join late, I know I've had a few questions on if you can rewatch the show after. You can. It's available right on the event page you're on or on YouTube. I'll have both links posted in the comments for you guys to click on and rewatch anytime. And I think with that, we're going to wrap up. So, Anurup, over to you.
Yep, thank you, Bobby. So I think if there aren't any further questions, folks, thanks for everyone for joining. We'll continue with these series of Google GoDaddy Hangouts, and please do give us your feedback on really the comment section. With that said, signing off from all of us here at GoDaddy. Thanks for joining, and for those who are watching out for the big game tomorrow, let's wait for the excitement action. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right.